This is from Christopher Marlowe's Hero and Leander, starting with line 37. Some say for her the fairest Cupid pined, and looking into her face was stricken blind. But this is true, so like was one the other, as he imagined Hero was his mother, and oftentimes into her bosom fled, about her naked neck his bare arms threw, and laid his childish head upon her breast, and with still panting rocked, there stood his rest. So lovely fair was Hero, Venus's none, as nature wept, thinking she was undone, because she took more from her than she left, and of such wondrous beauty her bereft. Therefore in sign her treasure suffered wreck, since Hero's time hath half the world been black. Amorous Leander, beautiful and young, whose tragedy divine Musaeus sung, dwelt at Abydos, since him dwelt there none, for whom succeeding times make greater moan. His dangling tresses that were never shorn, had they been cut, and unto Colchos born, would have allured the venturous youth of Greece to hazard more than for the golden fleece. Fair Cynthia wished his arms might be her sphere. Grief makes her pale because she moves not there. His body was straight as Circe's wand. Jove might have sipped out nectar from his hand. Even as delicious meat is to the taste, so was his neck in touching, and surpassed the white of Pelops' shoulder. I could tell ye how smooth his breast was, and how white his belly, and whose immortal fingers did imprint that heavenly path with many a curious dint that runs along his back. But my rude pen can hardly blazon forth the loves of men, much less of powerful gods. Let it suffice that my slack muse sings of Leander's eyes, those orient cheeks and lips exceeding his, that leapt into the water for a kiss, of his own shadow, and despising many, died ere he could enjoy the love of any. Had wild Hippolytus Leander seen, enamored of his beauty had he been, his presence made the rudest peasant melt that in the vast uplandish country dwelt. The barbarous Thracian soldier, moved with naught, was moved with him, for his favor sought. Some swore he was a maid in man's attire, for in his looks were all that men desire, a pleasant smile, cheek, a speaking eye, a brow for love to banquet royally. And such as knew he was a man would say, Leander, thou art made for amorous play. Why art thou not in love, and loved of all? Though thou be fair, yet be not thine own thrall. The men of wealthy Sestos every year, for his sake whom their goddess held so dear, rose-cheeked Adonis kept a solemn feast. Thither resorted many a wandering guest, to meet their loves such as had none at all. Came lovers home from this great festival, for every street like to a firmament glistered with breathing stars, who, where they went, frighted and melancholy earth, which deemed eternal heaven to burn, for so it seemed as if another Phaeton had got the guidance of the sun's rich chariot. But far above the loveliest Hero shined, and stole away the enchanted gazer's mind. For like sea nymphs in veigling harmony, so was her beauty to the standers be, nor that night-wandering pale and watering star, when yawning dragons draw her twirling car from Latmus mount up to the gloomy sky, where, crowned with blazing light and majesty, she proudly sits. More overrules the flood than she the hearts of those that near her stood, even as when gaudy nymphs pursue the chase, wretched Ixion's shaggy-footed race. Incensed with savage heat, gallop amain from steep pine-bearing mountains to the plain. So ran the people forth to gaze upon her, and all that viewed her were enamored on her.